Welcome, everybody. I'm really excited that you're able to join us today, and I value your time very much. I'd like to invite you to become a follower and supporter of the Growing Band Director podcast. Now, I'm sure you already listen to the show, and you've got some friends that are listening as well, and we really appreciate that. So if you keep that up, that'd be awesome. But we've now started growingband.com, which is a new website for us, and there's lots of ways you can interact with us. You can follow us on social media channels, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube by going on growingband.com and clicking on any of those to follow us. You can also find on there now a new merchandise store, which has the Growing Band Director podcast logo and some sayings on lots of different items on there for men and women. And there's things from t-shirts and sweatshirts to other clothing and accessories. Lots of different options on there with lots of different sizes and colors. Again, a little bit of that money comes back to us at the podcast to help us keep some content going for you. Finally, I'd like to invite you to become a Patreon member. This is a listener-supported show, which means we don't take any ads besides this one. Instead, we rely on listeners like you to keep us going, right? The way to support us is by going to growingband.com and clicking on the Patreon banner. And you can choose either $5 a month, $3 a month, and you'll gain access to the episode notes as well as an audio file of every episode we've done. Among other things, this is where you'll find our repertoire list and all the different repertoire podcasts we've done in the past and will do in the future. So whether it's by clicking on Patreon, following us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, going to the merchandise store on growingband.com and ordering something for yourself or some family or friends, and also sharing the show with some other people. We really appreciate you being part of the show, and please reach out at any point, and there's a way to do that on growingband.com as well on the Contact Us button. Anyways, let's get to the show. I hope you enjoy it. Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to the Growing Band Director podcast. My name is Kyle Smith, and joining me is my friend and colleague, Jeff Smith. Our mission is to share practical advice and explore topics that will help every band director, no matter your experience level, as well as music education students who are working to join us in the coming years. Together, we will discuss many aspects of a well-rounded band program, but most importantly, we will discuss concepts that help us all improve our own programs each and every day. Always remember the famous quote by Ray Kroc, "When you're green, you're growing, and when you're right, you rot." Let's get started. Podcast. Thanks everybody for supporting the show. Hopefully you found us on social media and you're following and liking what we're doing for you. Today's episode is all about holiday concert programming, and this is going to be our grade half to grade 2.5 level. There's a second podcast coming out here in a little bit, which will be for grades 3 and for grade 4. I will urge you to go back and check out lots of our past episodes. You know, we've got a few dozen episodes out at this point, and more coming on the way. We're hoping you're enjoying the programming we've got for you. We're trying to hit all the different, points of being a band director at sort of every level. And, please send us feedback and any other way that you'd like to be involved in the show. If you want to be on the podcast, maybe we could work that out as well if you've got a specific area of expertise. But, reach out and tell us how you think we're doing and keep encouraging us so we keep bringing the stuff your way. So today's about holiday concert programming. And there's you can find in the show notes and on the Growing Band Director website all the information for the lists of this music and for the show notes as well as the audio separately and all that. So, feel free to use any of that if it will help you. So some questions we need to ask ourselves as we're doing some holiday programming. First, so is this a Christmas concert, or is this a holiday concert, or is it a winter concert? Or are you skipping the month of December altogether and you're going to put it in January? This informs all your other decisions, and most importantly, my advice to you is to know your community. If your community expects nothing religious, then you need to understand that before you program the music. If your community is expecting a very wide range of holiday music of all different cultures or many different cultures, then you need to know that as well. Or are they looking for just a winter concert where you're just playing lots of winter type music, and you're told to ignore anything that is holiday related. Every community is different. Some communities don't even do anything in December, and they wait till January because they want to stay off the holiday time altogether. I'm not here to say what way is right or wrong. That's for every community to decide. But most importantly, you need to know what's needed in your community. So I will just say in full disclosure, lots of these pieces are holiday-based, Christmas-based. Some of them are just winter-based. So there's definitely not an equal representation there of that. Just wanted to give you that disclaimer there. Let's see. So secondly, so because of if it's a Christmas concert, are we going for Christmas music? Or holiday music, winter music? Again, know your community. For me, you need to think about, are you looking for music that is more educational with a hint of holiday, or are you looking for entertain the audience with a straight up holiday music? Consider avenues that are part of culture, as you're choosing music. For example, movie music from holiday movies. So just pick any great holiday movies and check on Pepper and see if they have some stuff from there, as well as things like the Nutcracker, which is holiday but not religious based. What's your concert schedule like? Is this the first concert of your year? Meaning you have, maybe 2 or 3 pieces that are not Christmas or holiday based, and then you have one final one that you throw on. I personally moved away from that and started doing a concert first week of November, end of October, first week of November. And then I was able to work from the beginning of the year on an easier program that had nothing to do with holiday. Then when it was just before Thanksgiving time, we'd put together 3 pieces that were pretty simple. That was all what my community was looking for. And it was a way to play twice as many pieces, perform twice as much, and really do what I thought was best for the kids educationally. And the community left really happy with what they heard and what we presented to them. And also, let's just not kid ourselves. The drag of working on holiday music when it's still fall and the leaves are falling and it's September is just not the most fun. So if it's the first concert of the year, you're looking for 1 piece, maybe 2. If it's your second concert of the year, this determines that you can play maybe more music than that. So you just got to have all that stuff figured out. And if you're in your first year or 2 of a position, maybe the concert schedule is what it is. But just be thinking about the ideal concert schedule for you. As a quick side note, when my wife and I started teaching it in our town, we had a Christmas concert, followed by an all-city concert in March, followed by a spring concert at the end of the year. We did that for 1 year, and I was just insistent, as my wife was as well, that we change that because there was no concert that felt like it was a serious concert. Everything was either a spring concert, so we're getting near the end of the year and kids are starting to check out, the all city concert, which was 5 to 12, and it's great, but it's all movie music, and then a holiday concert. So there was nothing that to me was really a place for rigorous music. So now the way we have it set up is we have a November concert, which is anything we want to do from the beginning of the year. We then have our December concert. We then do a beginning of February concert, which can be, we've done it as a concert where we share with a local university. We've done it as a concert of just typical winter, concert band music. Include the jazz band as well as they're preparing for their festival season. We've also done it as a movie music concert where we have some kids do movies that we put up above the band along with soundtracks of what we're playing, and that's been a big hit too. We then have our festival program in March, as well as a spring concert at that time. And then we have an all-city concert where we prepare 1 or 2 pieces with the 5 through 12 concert that lasts under 45 minutes. So, going from 3 concerts to 6 concerts allowed my kids to learn music a lot faster. So I'll put that plug out for there. It's not for everybody, but that worked really well for us, and I found that we learned music a lot quicker. Okay, so on to the recommended concert repertoire. If you're a high school teacher, and I know this is going to be mainly grade 1 and 2, which is not all middle school. A lot of middle schools aren't going to get to a grade 2, and I will tell you, a lot of high schools should play this grade 2. I've played almost every one of these grade 2 pieces with our high school group because sometimes it's just fun to put on entertaining music. It doesn't matter how hard it is. There's too many pieces to list here. This is obviously just a sort of snapshot of some of the pieces that I feel are really great pieces for your group. Check out Arrangers Publishing Company. and their holiday music section. I'm telling you, they have dozens and dozens of amazing pieces just from Arrangers Publishing. And their holiday stuff in particular is just fantastic. So there's too many to list here, but I say that on your own, check out Arrangers Publishing Company. Just the holiday stuff. And then things like, I didn't include any Charlie Brown concert music here, but there is at every grade level, there's things written for Charlie Brown. Things like that are holiday, but more culturally holiday than religious holiday. Again, you got to know your community. So we're going to start here with our grade half to grade 2.5. And I'm gonna kind of go in order of difficulty level. So we've got a few grade 1s, and a handful of grade 2s here. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to move pretty quickly without too much talking in between for these pieces. Hopefully you enjoy them. Here's the first piece by Patrick Rotswell. It's entitled Joy, a Holiday Fanfare. Again, that was Joy, a Holiday Fanfare by Patrick Rotswell, grade 1. Keep in mind, these first couple are professional recordings, but some of these are going to be live recordings from groups. So we want to keep in mind, especially as you're a younger teacher, just remember when you hear recordings, try to judge the work, not necessarily the performance. So if a piece sounds like there's some issues with it, remember that's a performance issue, not a compositional issue. The next piece is entitled Hanukkah is Here by a great writer. This is grade 1. A writer is Scott Watson. Also, keep in mind that you're choosing music for your kids. So, for example, there was a lot of unison concert C at the end of that one. That is not an easy thing to tune at the grade 1 level, or at any level for that sake. Again, that was Hanukkah is Here by Scott Watson. Make sure, no matter what the grade level is, you choose music that you think is going to work for your kids and they can achieve a high level of musicality. The next piece is called It's Holiday Time, and it's by the great composer Rob Grice. It's a grade 1, and actually I was not able to find a sufficient recording for you, and so I have not included it. So I would encourage you to check out J.W. Pepper and listen for It's Holiday Time by Rob Grice. The next piece we're actually going to listen to is written by Robert Sheldon, and this is entitled Snow Globe. Again, that was by the famous writer Robert Sheldon, grade 1 piece called Snow Globe. The next piece I really wanted to share for you, again, I could not find a recording I was willing to share with you, so I would go on J.W. Pepper or somewhere else to find this recording. This is arranged by Jack Bullock, and it's from the Prokofiev piece Troika from Lieutenant Kijé Suite. And if you don't know or haven't performed Troika at any grade level, it's this Russian piece of music by Prokofiev, and it's very winter sounding because there's got lots of sleigh bells, and it's a classic melody. So it's a really amazing chance. You'll see one of these on the grade 3 and 4 podcast as well at the harder level. Again, this is Troika by Lieutenant Kijé Suite, arranged by Bullock. So check that one out on J.W. Pepper. Last two we're going to listen to in the grade 1.5 or 1 level. This next one is my wife's favorite piece at the grade 1.5 level for this time of year. It's called At the Feast of Stephen, and it's arranged by Watson. last piece at our grade 1.5 level is done by, before we go on, that was At the Feast of Stephen, arranged by Watson. Composed by Watson. I'll get it together here. At the Feast of Stephen by Watson. Last piece of this grade level is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, arranged by Michael Story. If you don't know any Michael Story stuff, he's had a long and storied career, no pun intended. This is grade 1.5. We've done this before in 3/4, or also speeding it up and doing it in 1. It works very well. Again, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, arranged by Michael Story. Again, that was It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, arranged by Michael Story. You could do that in 3/4 or a little bit faster in 1. Okay, now we're on to our grade 2.5 music. This is by a great composer, one of our most popular composers right now, Randall Standridge. Go back and check out, I think it's episode 10 or 11 or 12 of the Growing Band Director podcast, and we interviewed Randall about many things, and he dropped lots of knowledge on us, and so that's one of our most popular episodes. If you go back and check it out. And I even mentioned one of my favorite pieces by him is called Still, Still, Still. He did an amazing job at arranging this carol. This is at the grade 2 level, and this is just winter music. There's no religious connotation to this at all, also not pop music either. Works really well for tuning and for tone quality, as well as blend within your sections. So let's check out this great arrangement of Still, 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 arranged by Randall Standridge. That was Still, 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 arranged by Randall Standridge. Again, that's one of those pieces you could do with an all-state band, and they would make it sound just amazing. So just a great piece of music. And one of the things you can work on is as it jumps down in the register of the melody, thinking about which volume levels you play at to make it really performed at a professional level. Next piece is pretty silly, and the recording we're going to share with you actually involves a couple boys playing the Three Chipmunks on the Chipmunk song from Alvin and the Chipmunks, so that you hear them sort of singing in the foreground on microphones in falsetto and things like that. This is just a super simple piece you can do that's just funny and fun. I've only done it once with the singers, but it's usually without. However, you also are encouraged to use kazoos should you want to open up that can of worms. And let's check it out. This is Ted Ricketts' arrangement of the Chipmunk song.
All right, you chipmunks, ready to sing your song? Okay, Simon? Ready. Okay, Theodore? Okay, Alvin? Alvin? Okay. Christmas, Christmas time is here. Time for toys and time for cheer. Make it good and make your best. Merry Christmas, happy best. For the rain that moves the moon, make the
All right, so again, listen for the piece of music, not necessarily the performance quality on all of these. That one, as you can tell, was a little goofy in a live performance, not the best quality, but I wanted to share that with you because kids just love it, and it's funny that it's just goofy enough, and it's one of those pieces you can do, in many, many, many different grade levels. The next piece we're going to listen to is by a composer named Connolly. This is also at the grade 2 level, named Bobsled Run. There's so much great music in that to teach, so hopefully you enjoyed that one. It's funny, there was moments where I thought we were listening to Mary Poppins, but in Christmas time. Again, that was Bobsled Run, composed by Connolly. The next piece we're going to listen to is arranged by a great band director and composer an arranger named Richard Saucedo out of Carmel High School in Indiana. He's been retired a little while now, but this is one of his grade 2 pieces called French Carol Festival, where he takes 3 French carols and then puts them into the work. So it's 3 sections, and it's at the grade 2 level. So I've enjoyed doing this piece many times at different levels, and hopefully you enjoy it as well. Here's French Carol Festival, arranged by Richard Saucedo. And real quick, before we listen to it, just remember this is an older recording from a young band, so judge the composition separately from the performance. Okay, and then also a good exercise is, as you were listening to this piece, if you were clinicking this band, what would you say to make them better? Here's French Carol Festival. I don't think you'd have a shortage of things to work on with that group. And just another thing to think about, in the third movement of that, the patapan section, the trumpet 2-part harmony section, that's actually meant to be in straight mutes. We did not use straight mutes that time, but that's a great opportunity for that. There's another great arrangement of patapan that's in the Arrangers Publishing catalog that's amazing if you want to feature your percussion section, but that'll probably come up on the grade 3 and 4 episode. But for that last piece, that was French Carol Festival, arranged by Richard Saucedo. Next, we're going to go to another Richard Saucedo piece. This is a lyric work for grade 2 entitled Noel, and it's a really amazing treatment of the first Noel. Super musical, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's Noel by Richard Saucedo. work, check out their original recording from the publisher that's on Pepper, J.W. Pepper, and I think you'll find that very worthwhile. One of my favorite grade 2 lyric Christmas or holiday pieces. Again, that's entitled Noel by Richard Saucedo. One of the things he does really well is at the end, when you have the third being held by the flute section, and then there's a harmony that comes in underneath. That's the one chord. He many times will add the second scale degree somewhere in the French horn, tenor sax, alto sax to give it a little bit of a contemporary flavor and a little bit of color at the end. So that was Noel. Our next piece is one of the best pieces by one of the best composers, in my humble opinion, Pierre Laplante, who you've heard me talk about many times. This is Minka's Sleigh Ride. Amazing tune, amazing arrangement of this tune. So here's Minka's Sleigh Ride. Such an amazing piece of music, Minka's Sleigh Ride by the great writer and arranger Pierre Laplante. The next piece we're going to listen to is by Todd Stalter. This is a concert opener called Noel, and it's Noell. I'm not sure what the second L is for that, to be honest with you. I did not research that hard on that one. But this is a grade 2 concert opener. If you don't know Todd Stalter's work, he's got a lot of great pieces out there at other grade levels as well. But this is Noel with 2 L's. funny, the more and more you teach, when you hear a piece like that, you hear the amount of things that you're able to teach through it. Right, if you have a great piece of music that your audience is going to love and your kids are going to enjoy, and there's so much musical material for you to work on and improve, everybody loves it. It's win, 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 which is pretty great. All right, our last two pieces at the grade 2 level that will end this podcast. Again, check out for the grade 3-4 one coming out next week. This one is pretty goofy, and I will be honest with you, I have some kids who absolutely love it and some kids who absolutely hate it. And to be honest, I do it because those kids hate it. It's just funny to have some power over them. But no, all kidding aside, this is an arrangement by Kasich. It's a great way to teach 6/8, and it comes together pretty quickly, and it's a lot of fun. It's called I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. So a couple of things about that piece, which even though it's a kind of an older, goofy tune, not only are you teaching 6/8, but you're also teaching, it's a concert band piece with the sign and the DS and the coda. So teaching that roadmap, sometimes we see that more in jazz band than we do in band music. So just another opportunity to teach something in that piece. The last piece we have going is by the great composer and arranger Robert W. Smith. No relation. This is entitled African Bell Carol, and I know many, many, many of you have done this, but hopefully some of you have not. This features your percussion section, and it's written with only a few percussion parts, but you can basically throw as many kids on there. You can do some improvising if you want. You can open up the percussion solo where it's 8 measures, and you can make it 16 or 24 or 32 and have different improvised solos and things like that. However you want to do it. It works well as a closer and as an opener. I've done it traditionally, but we've also done it where the percussion section starts on stage alone and they start playing, and then the band memorizes their music and basically plays it as sections come up onto the stage from the audience, and that was a lot of fun too. So this is African Bell Carol by Robert W. Smith. again, there's a lot you can do on that. That run is always a little bit tricky. And of course, you got to think of all the parodies of that song that you got to deal with, and it's going to get stuck in your head and all that sort of stuff. So, but again, that's a classic that I know a lot of teachers have done and know. And if you don't know it, then maybe now you can throw that into your library as well. So again, if the grade 2 was really home run stuff for you, check out coming up here in the next week. Be on your lookout for the next podcast, which is going to be the same format, but grades 3 and 4. There's some stuff in the grade 3 level that's just a hair harder than this grade 2 stuff. So be looking for that. And again, keep on keeping on, as Clark Terry would say. Hope everybody has a great week and enjoy being with your kiddos. We sincerely appreciate you taking your valuable time and listening to the Growing Band Director podcast. Your students are very lucky to have a band director like you. If you have any suggestions for episode topics or think you have an area of expertise to share on a show with us, please reach out. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help spread the word, please give us a 5-star review and tell your band director friends to subscribe as well. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our YouTube channel, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening to The Growing Band Director. See you next week.